I'd just like to, Craig Durgan, Port Ludlow. It's interesting what's happening in the county here with regards to revenue for the county, and as you well know, it's going down. Cutbacks are happening, and some fees have been raised, especially in the Department of Community Development, but of course that's like trying to squeeze a rock and getting blood out of it, because there's just not a lot of permits happening. So doubling the fees or whatever you did there isn't really going to give you much revenue. But there's another idea I have that I think would give us a revenue, and that's sort of like a reverse moratorium on the UDC. You guys have the power, without going through the Planning Commission or anywhere, to alter the UDC. And let me give you an example of what I'm talking about. Last week I had a long conversation with Joe Daubenberger. He has a building out in Glen Cove that he's been unable to rent. He's had 4 tenants that he's had to turn down because the UDC at this time did not allow the businesses that they wanted to conduct. I believe he had a couple secondhand retail stores that were interested, and a school, a hairstyling school. And it didn't quite meet the requirements in the Glen Cove UDC. However, that's a loss of potential revenue for the county. Sales tax revenue and other fees that you could have had. Now you got a building sitting there empty. It's not really an industrial building per se. It has had offices in it before, but the DCD cannot allow things to go forward that aren't in the use table. So what I would propose is that you guys have perhaps a 6-month moratorium on some of those uses, allow more uses to come in, and I'm not just talking in Glen Cove, I'm talking in the commercial area. I'm not talking about rezoning land here. I'm just talking about going in the use table and allowing a little more freedom in there. It doesn't have to be a permanent arrangement. I mean, if somebody comes in and leases it, you would allow that lease to expire. But it would give you guys potentially more revenue, and the landowner would be able to have a tenant. So I think it would be a win-win situation here. You don't have to make it permanent. Thank you.